Good morning from my giant hotel room in Munich, Germany. This video is all about packing for the BBS winter photography adventure. Let's go. So yes, good morning from here in Munich. Today is the day that I fly to Iceland, and I figured it's a good idea to take an hour this morning to touch on what I'm taking with me and how this gear differs from what I usually travel with in the summer. As most of you know that watch this channel, I am completely nomadic. I've been traveling internationally for about a year and a half with no home, and I travel with mostly just these two small bags. One is a Manfrotto camera day pack. The other one is just a rolly carry-on suitcase, super generic, normal travel suitcase. And I fit all this stuff plus a few more miscellaneous things into both of those bags. So we're gonna go over that right now. I've separated them into two sides. Here you've got the hardware side, and here is sort of the soft goods side. So probably the more interesting to most of you is the hardware stuff. For those of you who do watch the channel often, you probably already have a good idea of what I travel with. But if you're new to the channel, or if you're genuinely interested, let's go over that right now. So for still photography, I shoot with a Canon 5D Mark III. This thing is completely beat up. I've had it for about 4 years. It's got close to 200,000 images. I think the actual manufacturer suggestion is 150,000. So it's well over that now and still kicking strong. So that's awesome. With the 5D3, I shoot 3 lenses, the 70-200 2.8, which is a beast. The 16-35 L Series 2, which is so good for landscape photography. Absolutely love this lens. And I also shoot with the Canon 24-70 2.8. Now also for still photography, I've got 3 filters. The system from Lee is the foundation kit here with a couple different rings, 77mm and 82mm. I've also got a 6-stop little stopper, which is really, really good for coastal or waterfalls, whatever. And then for general sunset, sunrise, I've got the 0.6 stop Softgrad ND. Now these are all I really need for the filters that I travel with. I could have tons more. I know a lot of you watching this probably have a lot more as well. I personally would love to have a lot more, but when you're traveling mostly carry-on, you really have to sort of minimalize and deal with what you got. So I'm happy with that filter setup for still photography. Now for drone, what I've got is the MAVIC 2 Pro right here, and I'm sure you know the story behind this one. If you don't, go and check out the videos from Crete this summer. We had quite a dramatic story between the MAVIC Pro that I used to have and acquiring this new MAVIC 2 Pro. What else? I've got the controller for the MAVIC 2, a couple of extra batteries, one for the Panasonic, which I'm filming on right now, and one for the Canon. So let's jump to the Panasonic to find my phone. Also have a new phone. This is a bit of a Christmas gift to myself. I have a HUAWEI Mate 20 Pro. I shot with an iPhone for like 10 years, so I'm very newbie into the world of Android, but so far it's been really, really cool. I'm learning something new every single day, and I'm actually gonna use this phone right now to film the video setup, which I'm currently using. So this is the video setup. Got the LUMIX GH5 with the Rode VideoMic Go, and then the lens on this baby is the 7-14, which you can see there. That's my main video camera. Now what I also use with the LUMIX GH5 is this lens here. This is the 12-60 Leica 2.8. Fantastic lens for shooting video and getting a lot of really cinematic B-roll. I love this also because it's on the micro four thirds crop sensor. It effectively shoots at like a 24-120, so it's sort of a mini telephoto for the LUMIX GH5, which is really quite nice that I can get all around with the 7-14, and then this 12-60 is a nice range with only having 2 lenses. Also for video, I use the ZHIYUN-TECH Crane Plus gimbal. This thing is an absolute beast and probably one of my most important pieces of kit. I really like shooting stable slow motion footage, as you've probably seen from a lot of my videos. So this thing comes with me all the time. I'm shooting with this almost 95% of the time. So absolutely love this thing. The battery life is so good and it packs up relatively small, which is pretty nice. So definitely a solid piece of kit there. Then you may be asking yourself, what is this random box? So in this box is where I keep all of my miscellaneous stuff. So a lot of like extra props, the lav mic, an extra hard drive for backing up photos and footage, the charging cables, the cleaning material for my sensors, an extra USB port, some of my accounting information. All of that stuff goes into this Pelican case and closes up like this. And then I put that into my Rolly carry-on. So this thing, absolutely necessary, keeps all those random cables and like all the extra miscellaneous hard goods in one place. So that's it for this side. Now, winter time, winter, you know, it's a lot different from how I would normally travel from what we've been doing for the last 2.5 months in Southern Africa. So for Iceland and for Patagonia and any travel in the Alps here, layering is key. Layering is so key, and being able to prepare yourself for wind and rain. So what I've got here, so for base layers, I've got a pair of shorts. These are actually like a running short from Nike, quick dry, really like almost like a bathing suit, but they're really good for a base layer, super breathable, and yeah, quick dry, which is great for hiking. Also got a pair of long johns. These are cotton long johns. These are the only pair I have. I probably will wear these if it gets really cold, but if it's not super cold, I'll just have these as a backup. I've then got a this is a wool sweater, really good for staying warm if it gets really cold. Again, like the long johns, I probably won't wear this that often unless it gets super cold. So these are kind of like extras, I guess. Then what I will be wearing a lot are these two. So this is a hiking pant. It's quick dry as well, just like the Nike shorts. Super breathable, really good for hiking, multi-day treks. You can wear these 10 days in a row. Nobody's gonna know the difference. You know, even if they get dirty, they don't smell very bad. They're just fantastic material. Really good pair of pants. Then this guy, I'm sure you've seen this jacket before. This is my ARCTERYX cloud jacket. I got this from Alber Sport in St. Anton, Austria. It is fantastic. I've had it for a year and I've probably worn it like 150 days. It is such a good jacket. This will be the main jacket that I'll be wearing unless it starts to get really cold and windy. If it does, which is probable in Iceland in winter, we switch to the DRIFA gear. So DRIFA is a Austrian company, and they reached out to me via Instagram last year and said, hey man, we really like what you're putting out there and we want to collaborate with you. Would you be interested in sporting some of our gear? Now, this actually happens relatively often from a lot of different companies, and honestly, like 98% of them are kind of admissible, like they're just garbage products or I don't really care. And this was one of the only ones where I checked it out and I was like, wow, that looks amazing. That's the kind of product that I could absolutely use. So I picked it up and took it down to Patagonia with me last year and it worked perfectly. So this is a shell jacket from DRIFA. It is waterproof, windproof, really warm, and has tons of pockets, got really good breathability, just a fantastic bad weather jacket. So that's the shell that I'll be bringing with me, and probably gonna be wearing this a lot in Iceland if the weather starts to get bad. Now, in this waterproof dry sack, we've got a pair of DRIFA shell pants. So the match to this jacket is basically a snow pant, same thing, waterproof, breathable, windproof shell layer. I've got it all stuffed in here. Don't really want to take it out, but I think you get the idea. I'll be bringing these with me in the case that the weather gets really bad. If we start to get some rain and wind, these come out real quick on top of the hiking pants and we're good to go, staying warm and dry. that's most of the layers. Oh shoot, I forgot one more layer. This is a base layer for under my jacket and or sweater. Again from DRIFA, huge shout to you guys. This is polyester and warm on the inside with some sort of like furry layer. Really, really nice. And I can wear this again for like 10 days in a row. This is my main skiing and like cold weather hiking base layer for underneath. So I'll put this under the cloud jacket and then the shell jacket on top of that. And then if it gets really, really cold, I'll put the wool sweater on as well. So I got 4 layers there. And yeah, between the wool sweater and the cloud jacket alone, I'll probably be totally fine. But yeah, that is totally necessary. Footwear. Got 2 pairs of socks here. This is a pair of ski socks that go right up to the knee, really form-fitted, super, super good for skiing. Also really good for hiking. And then if it gets really cold, I put a pair of wool socks, courtesy of my grandmother, on top of these ones to keep me nice and warm under the hiking boots. So for the boots, you probably have never seen these on the channel. I got these last winter and have used them, I don't know, maybe like 10 times. So I'm gonna break them in nice and good here in Iceland and then probably take these down to Patagonia this year as well. So these are waterproof leather boots, really good for trekking around and hiking, getting dirty. So very much looking forward to giving these a good go in Iceland. Also have a thermos, boom, yeah. This is for tea, coffee, mate. Really, really good to have. Fits in the side of my camera bag. So that will be very handy in Iceland and in Patagonia. I have an Icelandic map. Check that out. International photographer map, waterproof, all about the photography spots. Now we're being guided on this trip by Ivan Thor Olofsson, who I'm sure is gonna love this. Check that out. Super happy with this. I think that's gonna be really cool. Sort of spots out a whole bunch of really good photogenic areas and cool places to check out. And I know BVS has been to Iceland a couple of times, so he's gonna have a really good idea where to go as well. And I've actually been to Iceland once, but it was a long time ago. But super excited to show this to Ivan and the crew. I think that'll go over really well. I've got gloves, 2 pairs of gloves. Gloves are super important for outdoor adventure photography trips. These are windproof and like slightly waterproof gloves. They're mostly used, I think, for like sports, like cross-country skiing and running and stuff. Really breathable, warm. I use these mostly when I'm doing photography because I can access the GH5 and all the features super easily with these gloves. However, if it gets really cold, I've got the skiing gloves. These are a pair of leather HESTRA gloves, super good for really cold weather. This is what I use when I'm skiing. So if it starts to get really cold, I can bust these out and stay warm. Up here, I've got a couple of toques. I'm sure you've seen this one before. I wore this in Patagonia last year. This is sort of like a tight fitting, quick dry, breathable hat. So I'll be wearing that one 99% of the time. I've also got a cotton beanie sort of toque, which is an extra, which I can wear if it gets really cold. I can put it on top of that one and stay warm up on the head. Also got for the neck slash face, sort of like a neck warmer. This again is like a skiing piece of equipment. I don't use it very often, but it's super small, easy to take with you, so I might as well pack it in the case again that it gets really cold and windy. Also have a quick dry towel. It's just a little one. I use this for any of my gear. If it starts to get really wet and hectic, I can sort of wipe off the gear or at least try to keep it somewhat dry. On top of that, I've got the classic shower cap. This was a BVS photography hack to keep your gear dry if it starts to rain. Super easy to get, super easy to travel with, and just keep this in my bag. In the case that it starts raining, I can chuck this over my gear. And then even more so, I've got another waterproof layer here. This is actually the shell that came with the Manfrotto bag here. So that's quite big. It fits right over top of the Manfrotto bag. In the case that the weather starts to get really bad, I can cover, 110% of all my gear, which is really nice. So I think that's it. Can you believe it? Trying to keep this short and sweet and to the point. I'm probably forgetting something. I'm actually noticing that I'm forgetting my laptop. So this is the Dell XPS 15, which is a powerhouse. This is my office. This is what I edit all my videos on. This is how I answer emails, schedule all my work for 2019. Yeah, without this thing, I think I'd be a little bit lost. So definitely bringing that as well. And then I've got a whole bunch of miscellaneous stuff still that you're not seeing. Things like extra t-shirts, boxers, a couple of extra pairs of socks, my glasses, my sunglasses, what else? Another hard drive, the charging cable for my computer, you know, a couple of random things. The tripod, sorry, that's being held on to the GH5 right now is a carbon fiber travel tripod from CALUMET, which I've had for like 2.5, 3 years. Absolute beast, really, really good. So that is what I am taking with me to Iceland. And all of that stuff fits into these two small carry-on bags. So I will do a quick time lapse now to wrap up this video and show you how all this stuff fits into those two bags, and then we're off to Iceland to meet up with BVS, Ivan and Jody and the rest of the crew who are all coming to participate in this amazing adventure photography tour. So I think it's going to be a really cool trip. It's winter, which means there's short periods of daylight, but really long periods of sort of sunset and sunrise. We're going to have really elongated light. So hopefully, fingers crossed, with some amazing photography opportunities, as well as at night, the Northern Lights. And I've personally never seen the Northern Lights before. I've been to 87 countries. I've never seen the Northern Lights, so I'm very much excited to get the opportunity to sort of fulfill a life goal of seeing the Northern Lights, photographing the Northern Lights, and being able to share that with you here on the channel is just super exciting. So really, fingers crossed we get lucky and get that opportunity in Iceland. So stay tuned for that. That'll be up over the next week or two. I'll be trying to vlog as much as I can in between helping out Brendan and getting that footage and documenting the trip so that he can share that on his channel. And that's that. So next up is Iceland. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video, and I will see you on the next one.